They were offering me my life's last and strangest bargain. Die now on a table by their hand, and wake up young and strong in a body grown to wear my face. Refuse, and die anyway, slowly, in the body I had, with the door unread, and the thing still coming down the line toward us. I did not sleep. I sat with it the way you sit with any death, because that is what it was, whatever they wanted to call it. My old body had carried me 68 years. It had held my wife's hand for 40 of them. It had stood at her graveside 3 months ago and not fallen down, which I had not been sure it would manage. It was failing now, and it was mine, and they wanted to stop its heart on a steel table and call it a transfer. Reyes found me at 3 in the morning. She is always awake at 3 in the morning. I asked her the only question that mattered. I asked if she had done it. She rolled up her sleeve, and in the red light, I saw faint silver lines beneath her skin, the same shapes as the glyphs on the door. Twice, she said. This is my third body. You don't get all of yourself back each time, but you get enough, and the work still needs doing. I asked her if it was worth it. She thought about that for a long time, longer than I expected, sitting there on the end of my bunk in the red light with a young face and old eyes. Ask me when the thing stopped, she said at last. Until then, it isn't a question I'm allowed to have. That was the catch nobody had said plainly. The transfer is not clean. Something is left behind in the old body each time. A little of who you were, burned off in the crossing like fuel. Reyes could not remember her mother's voice anymore. She told me that flatly, the way you report the weather. She had crossed too often. Choose what you can't afford to lose, she told me, and hold it somewhere they can't reach in to cut it out. I did not understand her, not then. I understood her by the next morning, and I have understood her every day since. In the morning I said yes. Of course I said yes. I was a dying man. And they had offered me a door out of dying, and I have never once in my life been brave enough to refuse a door. They laid me on the table. Holt held my hand, which surprised me more than anything else that day. The last thing my old eyes ever saw was the red light, and her face above me, and her mouth saying 4 words. Hold on to one thing, just one. So I held on to my wife's name. With everything I had left, as the old body went cold and the dark came up over me, I held on to the sound of her name and nothing else. And then I woke. My hands were young. My chest did not hurt. The pain I had carried so long that I had stopped calling it pain was simply gone. I stood up in a body that obeyed me, on legs that did not shake. And I wept, standing there in the cold light because I could still feel my wife's name held tight, exactly where I had left it. I had paid, though. Reyes had warned me, and she was right. I knew my children's faces, the exact shape of them, the boy's stubbornness, and the girl's quick laugh. But I could not, for anything in this world or any other, remember their names. I have a son and a daughter, and I gave their names to a machine to keep my wife's, and I would do it again. And that is the kind of man this has made me. I wrote down everything I could still remember of them, that first hour, in the back of the dead stranger's notebook. The boy's stubbornness, the girl's quick laugh, the shape of a life I was already losing the words for. If I am going to spend myself a piece at a time, world by world, I want a record of what I spent it on. Holt was waiting at the door, because of course she was. The number had dropped again in the days I had been under. The thing was closer, and now I had a body that could cross and cross again, and the one skill on earth that could read the way. You're the navigator now, she said, and put the carving tool in my new hand. We map inward, one world at a time, toward the thing that's coming, and we find out how to stop it before it reaches this door. I set my first number with my own hand, not spoken. Carved, the way Reyes taught me, the first real step out into the dark of the chain, and as the door woke, the silver glyphs under the skin of my new arm began to glow, in time with it, answering it. Reyes saw it. She grabbed my wrist and stared, and for the first time since I had met her, the calm was gone. That's not supposed to happen, she said very quietly. That has never happened, not to any of us. And the door stood open in front of us, onto the first dark world of the long way in. I did not understand what my new body was. I am not sure Holt did either. But I understood one thing. standing there with my arm alight and a dead language finally singing back at me. The door had been waiting a very long time for someone like me, and now, at last, it had me.